Thank you so much for staying tuned. If you just joined us, this is TMI, from the Benin Network Center. And of course, we're taking a look at the security situation in the country, the reluctance of youths from the southeast region to enroll in the military. You get to see the military personnel moving from one state to the other in these geopolitical zones, and the reason why they should come and enlist. After all, we have a quota to fill. They said it's 2,000, maybe per state or thereabout. But what do we have here in Edo State? We are battling to even get up to 300. In Enugu State, they're battling to get 100. And you can just see the trajectory or the projection into the number that they will get after this campaign. Remember, the target is 2,000 after recruitment, after the screen, after everything. It should be at least minimum 2,000. We haven't gone up to that amount. Now, what if they now screen? How many will be left? And someone saying this cause for worry. With me here in the studio talking about this, I have a vibrant Geo-Political analyst, political affairs commentator. Join me to welcome Elvis Brown. It's a pleasure to have you join me this morning.
Good to be with you. Good morning, viewers.
Oh. All right. And as it stands right now, you've met her before in course of the newspaper review segment. One-time chairman of NAWOJ, another person than Comrade Ijoma Grace Ube. It's a pleasure to have you join us on this discussion segment.
Thank you once again, Wilson. Thank you, viewers.
Now, when our visual guest is ready, is going to join us in this particular discussion, is no other person than Moses Ermosele. Moses, it's a pleasure to have you join us, though visually.
Thank you. Good morning.
All right. So let me start off with Elvis Brown. What do you think about this trend? The military, for the very first time in a long time, coming around to do this campaign of youths coming to join the fold of the military. Consider the portrait number of personality that are willing to even enlist in the military. Let's start off with Edo State, for the over to Enugu State that has just 100. I mean, don't you think it's a source or cause for concern?
Well, I think that it's a accumulation of events that have actually transpired over the years. The youths have been reading, they have been watching the politics in the military. You know, whether anybody would want to accept it or not, there's a lot of politics going on in Nigerian military. And now, the people who are supposed to be enlisting into the Nigerian army, they've come to understand what plays out. You know, there were rumors of our people being sent to the terrorist-torn areas like the northeast, and just send them without proper ammunition, without proper equipment. And so most people are now thinking, why should I enlist in the army when I just have to go there and I'm sent to be killed? So people are concerned. Am I going to enlist to stay in the office and give orders, or I'm going to be sent to the war zone, not fully equipped to combat the enemies? So people are withdrawing for issues like this. A lot of other issues that you see where a military guy will complain, and then for complaining, he's dismissed, he's arrested, a lot of things are happening. So people are paying attention to those things that are happening, those complaints that have been emanating from the military. So people not enlisting is not surprising to some of us. We understand that there are people who would prefer to just manage their life, do whatever they want to do, live as long as they could, rather than, they love to do it if the system was right. They want to go there, they want to be part of it. But is their welfare being taken care of? Are their demands being met? Are they even listening to the complaints of the foot soldiers? So these are the issues that we need to look at, that is actually reducing the zeal of our youth to want to participate in the military.
All right. That is from your own angle.
That's
because in the north, they're overshooting their quota. Talking about 3,000 or 4,000. We'll come to that later. Well, comrade Ijoma, what do you feel about this? Is it something that we should be worried about, or just be like, we're expecting it to happen?
We have become warriors in terms of worry in Nigeria right now. You know, everything in Nigeria is, just like you said, it's about politics. You know, we are not even talking about the issue of the job availability. We are talking of how the opportunities that are bound are being utilized. The representation in a military quota should be equitably distributed. Like you think of the strengths and weaknesses of states, the geographical representation, everything should come into play. Even gender, the issue of gender in employment, everything should come into play. But in this case now, a geographical spread is more concentrated elsewhere in employment. And it cuts across all strata, not just military. In employment, even in academics, in the universities, they'll be telling you if you're not from this geographical extraction, you may not get this job, except you have a godfather somewhere who gives you the nod to go and apply. In this case now, the job is there, and a number of persons are listed as a quota. But then the job is there, but then the people are not applying because of issues of politics, issues of insecurity, job security. Now we are talking about job security. He analyzed them beautifully. He said all the things around making somebody who is employed feel comfortable on the job. It's not there. Politics are there. They're even killing people in the military. They send people to go to war-torn zone. You remember one popular story of that young lady that died because she was targeting insurgents, and they wasted her. So many things are there that people are so afraid to speak up about. In the military, politics is there. If they find a soldier who is targeting the insurgents, it's either they dismiss that soldier because you are, they will say you are acting ultra-vires beyond your powers.
But I don't think these are just speculations against the military. Do you have proof of these assertions?
They are not speculations. These are the things that are happening, and it's making that job not attractive anymore. How many families would like their children to go there and waste? Then in terms of resources to fight insurgents, where are the resources? Where are the resources? You see, they just take directly into the insurgents' camp. They take foodstuff, they take clothing, they take money directly into the insurgents' camp. But the real military who are fighting, they are bereft of all the support that they need to fight insurgents. So we are aware now that certain aircraft just move into the forest and supply insurgents with all they need for a year. Then what about the officers who are supposed to be fighting them? So the issue of sponsoring terrorism also comes to play. Do you understand? The job is not attractive. That is the gospel truth.
It's not attractive.
It's not attractive.
All right, I will come back to you. Let's move over to where St. Moses Edo from Benin City is joining us virtually. Well, Moses, you've heard these two analysts. They've given us a solid foundation for this particular discussion. Some are saying that because of what people are saying about what is going on in the military, maybe that might just be the reason why people from the southern part of the country are just put dragging to enlist in the military. But how come it's different in the north?
Yeah, Wilson, thank you very much for this opportunity to speak. First, I want to think that the statement by the Nigerian military that the South and the Southeast are not enlisting the military is more of a propaganda than fact. Yes, propaganda in the sense that I know that we want to join the military. If you open it up today and you say you want to take graduates from those states, I'm sure more than half of the unemployed graduates who want to join the Nigerian military. So that statement I'm making, I find it a bit completely not true. Having said that, I agree with the last speakers that there's been some suspicion for those who are in the military. I actually have two staff of mine who work in my school, the teachers over time. and one of them has actually have to leave the military in the training because, according to him, they was sent to the heart of the war, and they have so much suspicion about how they abandoned them. So he left, and so that happens. I've not just one. I know about 3 people who have actually absconded from the war zone because they didn't feel safe and they didn't feel protected by the military. And so they had to leave the military over time, and they've been doing all sorts of odd jobs and all that. So having said that, I also want to admonish the Edo people, the southeastern people, now that they are trying to push a propaganda to us that we are not the one coming to the military because we don't want to join the military. Let us prove them wrong. Go and pick a form. Challenge them. Bring the form down and take graduates. Don't take people who are not graduates. Don't go and ask for communities in Edo and you're asking for bachelors in Kano. And then both of them enter the military. One of them is going to become a private and one of them is going to become a lieutenant. We don't want that. Allow to enter at the same time. Allow level playing field. And this to call all civil society people to begin to look into the military and see their recruitment. See whether our people actually wanted to join the military or not. My elder brother, who's twice older than me, is in the Nigerian, he was not accepted in the Nigerian military. He's an accountant. He went to America. Today he's a sergeant he's an airman in the U.S. military. He was taken, and he has made U.S. his place, his home. He was given a place in Nigeria. He was not taken. So when you say we are not accepting this is my elder brother, not somebody very distant. He's in the U.S. military, U.S. Air Force, rather. So, but in Nigeria, he didn't get a place. So then tell us that we don't want. He would have loved to be in the Nigerian military to fight the insurgents. So our young people, our Edo people, our Southern people, I'm challenging you. If they send you to the east, take note. If they send you to the northeast, rather, or the war zone, take note that you are signed up to save your country, to defend your country, even to risk your life. So don't look at any place as a risky. Go there and prove yourself, and then be a warrior. If you are a soldier, So don't.
Okay.
We are not ready to die in this country. We are just warriors to live. Even the military.
I will come back to you, St. Moses. I'll come back to you. You said you should go there, prove yourself a warrior. If you're saying to the northeast and Basin Forest, take it in good faith. After all, that's what you signed up for in the military. But the northern part of the country, they don't have the same complaint. How come they are eager to join the military as opposed to the southern part of the country? Elvis.
Well, there are so many things at play here. I don't believe that someone has to go in and then go there to prove yourself. I don't believe in that. I think that there are so many things that are at play that we need to look at holistically. One of them is the fact that the security architecture in Nigeria is not designed to protect the people. It is designed to keep the government in power. So the moment the government in power feels challenged, they do something about it. If they don't feel challenged, it doesn't matter to them. So now the people that are enlisting to the military from the north, they understand that this is a game that they are willing to play. So if someone from, say, Bauchi State enlists to the Nigerian army, for instance, is likely to be sent to our region. And when he's sent to our region, if our boys, you've seen a lot of them malhandle our boys in the street. You have dreadlock, they stop you on the road, they use scissors or razor blade to barb your head. So many things, we've seen a lot of things play out, clamp down when you try to protest, they unleash these guys on you. Then over there, our boys you can drive. I've actually driven to several states in Nigeria. Honestly speaking, if you are driving from, say, Benue State down to Benin, and you go through Abuja, you go through Nasarawa State, Abuja, Kogi, then Edo State, you are likely going to see your first checkpoint when you are exiting Abuja. When you are going out of Abuja to Kogi State, you see your first checkpoint, maybe 1 or 2. But when you get into Edo State, you're likely to see about 10, 20, countless of them. Military, police checkpoints everywhere, as if we are actually in a war zone. This is a systemic police state. And the reason for the enlisting is for this purpose, to keep a certain section of the country under. So some of our people understand this thing. If you want to enlist to the military, it's a good thing. I'm not discouraging anybody. But I am telling you why our people are not doing it. Because for them, it is not favorable. You see things you can't speak about. If you do, you'll be sent to the guard room. a lot of things happening that, you know, they hear this thing. They have families who have been there. Some of our brothers will go meet their brothers or sisters in the military and tell them, look, I want to enlist. The same people in the military tell you, look, I don't wish this for you. I don't wish it for you. Because they've been there, they've seen a whole lot. Some of them, they don't just have an option. Otherwise, they would have just walked away. So are you telling me that if I have someone in the military who wishes to walk away today, and I am going there to join him, to do what? To walk away with him? So these are the things we're talking about. It is not palatable. For us, it is not favorable. The equation is not balanced. It is not, see, the rules are not the same for the guy from the east and the guy from the north.
They have different rules they play by.
Honestly speaking, even the recruitment process, you can go through the rigorous process of being recruited and somebody just come with a note at the peak of the exercise and is enlisted. We've seen this thing before. So if it is either we are not addressing the issues as they were, or we just shine away from them. So people who are not enlisting, they have reasons why they are not. Address those issues. Don't come on here and tell us our people are not interested in enlisting. Address the issues. When the president comes on board, the first thing he does is to bring in somebody who will help him put the military in place. His brother. We've seen that before. Apart from maybe Jonathan, every other president does that or has done that. They bring in their man to hold the military, bring in their man to hold the police. There is a reason for that. And so when you want to enlist, the guy is at the top, so it's additional quota. Give our boys 10,000. Give these other guys 300. And so that 300, you know that the Upper of Benin used to have a quota in those days. When military is recruiting, they send a quota to the Upper Benin. And then maybe 5 or 10, I don't know, I don't have that data. But the number of persons he sent, not all of them will eventually get into the army. Why? The question is, if the process is fair, what does the Oba need a quota for? If the process is fair for everybody, you are saying let the best guys join the military. Our people will be willing to put the exams on the table. Let us write. Let the best guy win. But that's not the case. Somebody has to recommend you. Somebody has to play a role in your process of being taken into the military. Somebody has to either sign a letter for you or put in word of mouth for you. And most times our own does not hold water.
Okay.
So these are the things you need to look at.
Wow. Well, let me come to Comrade Grace. You heard me say that there's no fairness, so to speak, in the recruitment exercise. And sometimes if you give us the number of persons to enlist in the military, many of them will not be taken. But in other countries like the northern region, just by word or a written note, bam, they're either in the military. Now, do you not feel that what the military are doing right now is just propaganda to, you know, tell the world that we're not the one interested in the process, or there's something else we are not seeing that they are seeing?
Yeah, I agree with St. Moses Ermostele, who spoke with us online. I agree with Elvis that it's all about propaganda. There is no equality, there is no equity. And it borders down to deficit in leadership. Leadership deficit. It's all about leadership deficit. Because the interest of those at the helm of affairs is what comes to play. They may even bring up the census of many years ago. We haven't had census for decades in Nigeria. They may bring up that census of decades ago when developments have even overtaken that census. And they now start giving quota that doesn't exist. Because the interest of leaders, like he said, comes to play. The person at the helm of affairs wants to control the military. Then he gathers other interests together and they all start marshalling out quotas. And then at the end of the day, a geographical spread may not even have enough at all. But the issue also of interest in joining the military also comes to play. Like me, I've said it, I wouldn't want any of my children to be there. Because there's no guarantee that they will come out alive, that they will become pensioners in military. Yeah, the atmosphere is so corrosive that you wouldn't want any of your family member to be enmeshed in such a play. The politics is there. The interest of sponsoring terrorism is there. and the interest of trying to muzzle up the military to ensure there is no...
When we talk about interest or sponsoring terrorism, that is an allegation you cannot substantiate. You just can't substantiate it.
We are in Nigeria. We are in Nigeria. We know what is at play. There are fundamental issues that people are so afraid to speak. I'm a citizen journalist. I can't be afraid to speak up. If we keep saying we are going to be silenced, then things will continue to go wrong. The interest of the politicians is there. The one at the end of affairs is there. The terrorism thing is there on its own, you know, because you want to keep some people in the forest and be using them whenever you want to use them. That one is at play. And then in the military, you have people who feel that there are powers that be, and their own interest is also at play. The generals, all of them, all the generals we ever had in Nigeria, they are there on retirement, but then they are also interested in what is going on. So all this interest, when you congregate all of them, it brings no meaning to governance. Because in governance, there should be accountability, there should be fair play, there should be equity, there should be equality in display. But then all these factors are not factored in, because people just allow their own interest to override the collective interest of the people. And that is why Nigeria is suffering today.
All right. Let's move on to where Moses is. Moses talked about those citizens coming out to be warriors. They should go to Zambia if they are posted there to defend their father's land and the rest of them. What about the aspect of trusting the process? After all, you give an example of your elder brother not taking, despite the fact that to you he was qualified, he was rejected way back. But when he went to the US, he succeeded right now. He is, you know, among the air officials or air marshal in the US.
Yeah, I agree with the sentiment that the South is actually not treated fairly in the military, in the federal civil service generally. But I do not agree with the claim that we should abandon the military because of those difficulties. I do not also agree with the sentiment that we should not allow our children or ourselves to be in the military. If I would be acceptable in the military, I would join today. Yes, I would join today. The reason is that you need to be able to be in the system to change the system. If you cannot join the military, don't complain about the military. If you cannot join the system, don't complain about the system. I want to encourage our citizens, our people in those states, in South Nigeria, in Southeast Nigeria, go and join the military. Whether you join the military or don't join the military, if you want to die, you will die anyway. There are many people that were not in the military that are long dead. Basanjo, Danjuman, they were all in the military. They are old men today, and they will live older if they want to live older. So it's not about joining the military. If you want to die, you will die even in your house. If you will die in your house, so join the military, take charge, take responsibility, behave like the Northerners. Complain about them. Stop complaining, because you don't have the right to. You have the right to complain when you don't do what they do. What do? They take the risk. They go to the military. They bear the risk. They were sent to Biafra. Don't forget, Biafra was the worst form of war we ever had. They took that risk. They entered the war and they succeeded. In a war, the victors become get the loot or the booty of the war, and then the victim, or you bear it. Then those who did not even fight at all, they will look on after the war because they will not be placed in advantageous position. So I want to encourage our people in Nigeria, in southern Nigeria and in southeast Nigeria, go and join the military. Go there, let them send to Sambisa Forest. Soldiers are to be sent to forest or to war zones, not to offices, not to the peace regions. They are not meant for peace days, they are meant for war times. Take charge, take responsibility, and tomorrow you no longer complain. Thank you.
Interesting. You heard him. Take responsibility, take charge, and tomorrow you no longer complain. After all, during the Civil War, you get to see the Northerners still taking the risk of enlisting the military. They came out, they fought, and you know the result of the war. He said the Southern youths or the Southeast youths don't want to take one particular measure, the risk factor. Is that the problem, Elvis?
Well, I think if we are encouraging the people to go join the military, go get sent to the war zones, go get yourself killed, that's unpatriotic to me.
Is that what you're saying? He never said don't go get yourself killed.
Because he said that if you're going to die, you could die even in your house. So all die and I die. That's what he's trying to say. But then I think I beg to differ. If we cannot change the system, then we should actually think about ways to get around being sent to die. Honestly speaking, for me, I'm not saying that people should not enlist. I have said that before, that I'm not against anybody enlisting. But the point is that the process is bad. And we have to talk about that. We have to address that. The system is really bad. If somebody wants to join the military, fine, let them go ahead and do that. But if you want to join the military and you come to me, I will tell you what to expect. I will give you, a broad analysis of what you are walking into, so that you go in prepared. You already know that the system is rigged against you because of your region. You already know that, look, you don't stand a chance if you go in. So if you still want to go ahead, it's up to you. That's me. So I'm not going to say because I don't understand the relationship that the war that he mentioned had to do with the system that we have right now. In those days, people were literally begged to join the military. And in those days, they were treated very, very well. The military were treated well. There was a lot of advantage. The Obasanjo you mentioned, they enjoyed in the military. They enjoyed themselves. They didn't go through what these guys are going through right now. We're not talking about giving somebody 30 bullets to go and face a guy that has 1,000 bullets on his shoulders. These are not balanced situations. So if we cannot change the system, then we should at least keep letting people know that the system is not fair. Let us not pretend that the system is fair. People should go in and change it from inside. How are you going to change from the inside? The military? You want to go in as what? To change it from the inside. And he's even saying, don't go to the office, go to the war zone. So you're going to change the military from the war zone. It doesn't apply.
All right. All right. Well, I believe the military personnel, they are watching. You could see the fear right now of people, the youth from the south, and of course, southeast region. The issue right now is trust. They don't trust the person. Of course, you have the right to reply. If you feel that what they're saying here is wrong, you have the right to come to White House and say, look, what your honorary is saying about the military is all wrong, that you prove them wrong. Because that's saying the issue is all about trust. We'll call it a wrap on this segment to make the process more, how will I put it now, acceptable by the youths from this region. What should be done? Briefly, Abuja Network Center is waiting.
Yeah, our national integrity is at stake here. There should be equity, there should be equality, there should be accountability. The representation should be equitable. You should not bring up a propaganda because you want to muzzle up some number for yourself. No, you should make it open and let all interest, that is what is called equitable representation. Let all interests be carried along. You shouldn't be trying to put words into the mouths of others or conceive ideas on behalf of other people. You cannot shave the people's heads when they are not there. You should always be open and accountable. Transparency. We call for transparency. Our national integrity is at stake. They should do the right thing and let all the parts in Nigeria, the regions, be represented equitably too. Thank you
so much, Comrade Juma. Well, let's get to hear from Moses, your last take. What advice do you have for the military and, of course, for the reluctant youths? Briefly.
My last advice for the Edo people and Southeast people, South Nigerian people, is join the military by all means. It's better to join the military than to join the good cause. Join the military, fight for your country, seek to change your country, not only the military, anywhere in the federal service. Join and change from within. Stop complaining, join the change. Thank you.
Well, you've heard them. One is saying you have to join, you have to join. Somebody say, what about the process? So it's all about trust. Don't say that people in the south is already not serious. They are serious. Will the condition be favorable or be equitable to all? They are having this notion that people from the northern region are more favored in the military. If you can change that, definitely other regions might just choose to join. But if you disagree with some of the comments made by our guests here in the studio, even online, yeah, you can come, you have the right of reply. We'll get to hear you out to get to know the reason why they're doing this. If any people to come join the military, on the line, trust. Can the process be trusted? That's a question left for our military personnel to answer. Thank you so much, gentlemen.
Thank you.
I appreciate your wonderful analysis, Moses. Thank you also.